One shot, let's begin. Black Terror by Mito Matsuri. Alright, we did case 1. We did case 2. And now we're doing case 3. Translated and uploaded by Anata no Motakare. Or Motakare. Anata no is like your. Like my hero, or mine. No, it's your. Because like Boko no is like my, Anata no is your. Alright? Let's begin. Green skin. Reading this live. Doing live reactions. Love this author style. Let's begin. Case03, green skin. Okay, let me see if I can predict. It's green is envy. Maybe he just looks at you from the library, hides in the books, and he's envious of libraries, is my guess. I don't know. I've loved my grandfather's room for as long as I can remember. As a former university professor, he lived up to his reputation with an immense collection of books that sprawled from floor to ceiling. I spent my days in his room immersed in this endless pile of books. How admirable of you to develop a love of books at such a young age, he said to me with a content expression on his face. But he was mistaken. What interested me back then as a child were the bindings of the books, the golden threads, the bright red cloth, and the lacquered embellishments. One day, a particular book caught my eye. It stood out from the rest because of its nondescript binding. When I asked him about the book, in his usual nonchalant tone, he told me that it was made from human skin. Oh, if I had scissors, I could cutting noise. Let's see. Ooh.
Oh, all right. Looks like everyone's finished cutting their cloth. Now we're going to start sewing them together.
Okay. Ooh, okay.
Please go ahead and pick whichever pattern you like.
That's a nice combination. How about this?
The charm of patchwork lies in the freedom of freely being able to arrange cloth like this. Frank, how are you doing?
Teacher, I'm enjoying myself. Teacher, I'm enjoying myself very much.
You're a fast learner.
No, not at all. I couldn't even cut the cloth properly when I first started. I'm just getting used to it now. Actually, I didn't come here because I want to make a hobby out of patchwork. Oops.
Are you perhaps doing this for someone you like?
Teacher!
Forget it! I'm just joking.
But maybe you're half right. It's because I met you. You're not only kind, you're also really good at teaching others. It's through your guidance that I'm able to wield a pair of scissors so deftly.
Frank! You're not supposed to cut it like this!
Sorry.
It's okay. Give me a sec. I think there's still some of the same cloth over there.
Teacher. Actually, there's something I'd like to show you, but it's my house, so if possible, possible, can you come over to my house next time?
Just so happen I'm free tonight. Is that okay?
Yes! Great! No problem at all! I'm looking forward to it! Ding dong. Ding dong. Doors open! Please, come in! Frank! I'm on the second floor. Let's see.
Amazing! There's so many books!
Teacher, thank you for coming. Let's see.
Why? Why are you over there, Frank?
Fourth book from the left on the second row of shelf K is where the books are always been kept. Until now, I still can't forget the excitement I felt when I saw it for the first time. Do you know what that beige material is? It's human skin.
What? What are you saying?
Didn't I say that I wanted to show you something? But it looks like I surprised you after all. Perhaps you might have heard of it. It's called a human leather binding book. and it is said to have existed as an extremely common type of bookbinding up until the 17th century. The texture, the feel, the thickness, it's so different from all the others. There's no other like it in this world. I want to revive it again, and so I've chosen you to perform the honors. Well then, teacher, would you come this way, please?
No! No! Stop it! I'm not married. I don't even have a lover yet. And my parents are still depending on me back home. I beg you.
Don't worry. With your skills, I'm sure it'll be over soon enough. You even taught a beginner like me so splendidly in such a short time. I could just imagine the splendor of your skills. I'm looking forward to it, teacher. Well then, I'll leave it to you. Ooh, okay. Glad I didn't go too lower. I have to stop uploading this video. What a shame. She's not my soulmate either. What to do now? I see. A doctor. Not bad. I'm sure they're good at cutting up skin. Alright then. I'll go for a checkup tomorrow. I can't wait. Strange Frank, 28. Safe Nina, 26. Okay. I like that. That's a really interesting take on horror where it unnerves you, right? Like, because I didn't think he was gonna like actually kill her, right? I think that's kind of what they're, and I like that it's kind of a red herring without being a red herring, because he would barely be like, he could say like, oh, your delicate skin is so lustrous, it would make for the perfect bookbinding. But he's just like complimenting her like skills throughout their like unnerving interaction, right? It shows you to perform the honors, right? And I think that's the thing. I've chosen you to perform the honors. I think it's as simple as that, right? Like, he thinks she's good, she's skilled, and because of that, he thought she would be able to cut off his skin and make a bookbinding. And I like that when you look at this intro more, you can kind of see a little bit more of what he's thinking here. Like, this thing is obviously the like whole chest thing, where it's like, okay, he's gonna, that's where he wants his skin to go in a book, right? And then you could probably see that these are like illustrations of things he's done. Okay, what about if I took it from my arm, right? What about if I went and I was like, just, and then like, do, right? Or like, cha, cha, cha. I wonder if he does go cha, 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 cha when he's cutting the skin or trying to make whatever. Cha, 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 cha. He's got to do like the songs and stuff. And here you could see he was probably looking into animal binding as well. It's like, okay, what about if I took like and you could interpret this many ways, right? Maybe it's like, what if I took the skin of an animal, put it somewhere else? Or what about if I put other animal onto the skin, right? Or maybe the type of pattern that he can't get quite accurately, right? Like in the triangles here. Same thing with more animals. And maybe spiders and bats are just cool and goth. That could also be a reason. And you could even see that like this little pattern here, similar to the cut he placed in, right? He's in the big rectangle. He also just wants to be a book, right? He's holding the binding book. He's fascinated with it. He's like, what about if my skin were a book too? And then like right here, you could see maybe it's a nod to the last thing, or maybe the stuff with eyes are being seen forever. And then this is just cloth. Maybe he practiced with the binding. These are just animals. Deers have 3, 5, 6, 7 eyes in this universe. Cool. And of course, always the stylized things. You could see the empty spots, this, that, and the other. And I like it too. Like, you don't like when it says that it's like human skin. The fact that he's a serial killer probably is the first thing. Like, he's going to attend this class to go and like learn to cut people up, and then when she goes to his house, she's gonna see like a million books that are made of human skin and people he've killed, right? And I like this. Like, I think it's a very, so that young adults could probably do like, hey, I want to learn how to knit, so let me go over here and let's learn how to knit, right? Boom, 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 like that. I think that's quite wonderful to do, right? um, and I like this. They're friendly people. I think this is, a nice design too as an adult as well. And plus, he has books, like a book shirt. Like, there's a lot of nice details in this here. Like, he likes book. He's just a little lad here. And then he just wants to become a book, right? Because he's fascinated. He loves them so much. He has a penchant for booking. Um, and maybe these are just patchworks he made. Like, the heart, he's trying to find the love of his life. And I like this too. Like he gets distracted. He messes up there, but he's like, "No, you're wonderful." And he says, "Teacher." And it's like, oh, so he asks her out on a. Well, we think it's gonna be a date, right? And maybe to him it is. Like she wears a lovely little dress, um, and then he goes here. Why are you over there, Frank? He has a loud voice. Maybe it echoes. Well, I've never been in too big a fancy mansion. Um, and I mean, I think weirdly enough, if he had, I think he could have salvaged this. Is the worst part. That's like my worst intrusive thought about this here. Um, if he had just done this, like I think the human skin book could be an interesting talking point, right? Um, where he goes and he talks about like, this human leather binding book, and it's a little creepy, a little unnerving. He probably would have get a second date, but who knows? Maybe if he talked about like his passion for books here, um, and didn't imply that he wanted to like kill her or anything, or like do the red herring where he could have double killed her, and I'm like, oh yeah, human books here. I've had a desire for books, and this is one of many bindings here. This is the most disturbing binding I found here. But I want to learn how to bind many books here and stuff like that, right? Or like you think about the materials we could all make for every book here, renewable materials, or some sort of like slant like that. I think he could have salvaged this here. And even here, well then, teacher, could you come this way, please? No, 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 stop. I'm not married. I don't even have a lover yet, and my parents are still depending on me back on my begging. Right? She's scared, thinks he's gonna kill her or something, or make her into a book. Um, right? And then this is like, I'm not married. I don't even have a lover yet, and I wonder, like, she's all these things I won't get to experience, right? Um, don't worry with your skills; it'll be over. And then, of course, she's crying and terrified here. Mm, I'll leave it to you, right? So goes and oh, is that an aquarium in the middle of the thing? Fish. That's such a small aquarium too. Wait, before we get to the cutting open people, we gotta see if the aquarium is. Was the aquarium always there? Cause like that's kind of cruel. No, well, there's a dead fish. Dang. Um, dang, that aquarium's really small for the animal, right? And so we see this here. He made a very crude like surgery marks, and I found it interesting. What a shame. She's not my soulmate either, right? Like cutting open that skin all like there to make it into a book. I wonder if he measured the proportions needed for the book, if he decided on the book, or what from here. Like this is my book. This is my life here, and whatever. Because it could be interesting, right? But of course, it's sick. She's not your average person isn't gonna want to cut off your skin like they go, right? Then sutured onto a book, and he'd probably die from losing all his skin there, right? Like I'm sure there's definitely a way for him to survive, or you could do that. But yeah, he'd probably die. A doctor's probably a better choice. What's he gonna say? Cut off my skin for this year. Um, like, and of course, maybe this is his way of just intimately connecting with people. But, um, cutting your skin off of being made into a book is not the best base for a first date, first interaction, really a first anything. I don't think. Yeah. So don't, and I'm glad that she got out of there. I wonder if he would have killed her. I don't know if he would have. He just seems like he wants to be made into a book more so I don't know if he would actually do that. And like, what do you even? You can't even report him for a crime. Like, he was a little bit weird. He didn't quite threaten her. He said, "Yeah, you cut me here so I could go." Maybe psychiatric help or whatever is what you could do. The marks disappeared there. That's a little detail I wish they had kept. I don't know what that looks like. Maybe an ice cream truck or a little not ice cream thing. Yeah, I don't know. That's something where I'm like, I don't. you can't really report him for a crime. He didn't really like being made uncomfortable is not a crime. He didn't like really touch her inappropriately. Um, I don't know. It's like that. But he's a weirdo, right? Um, but I guess that's just me being frank about him, and me being Nina about her. She went like nah to Frank. I like that she put safe there. So like, if we go through the other works too before we, call it a day, like we had somebody die in that work there, like completely, and then right here, actually, wait a minute, they've actually been good about not killing people. That's interesting. I never thought about that, and I think that's refreshing. These are horror stories without a need to kill people, but instead make you uncomfortably like, whoa. And of course, the art is good, very stylized here. I love it. It's amazing. You could feel the terror. Um, they do very well in drawing eyes too. I love them. So, oh man, oh no, does that make me like the person from the first one? Saw the eyes. But anyway, I love the story. It's great. I'm looking forward to reading the rest of this here. And with all that being said, like, comment, subscribe, and thank you for being born, y'all. Peace out.